Tonight, Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is revealing much more about her public break with President Trump. She told 60 Minutes that her Republican colleagues mocked Trump behind his back, and she revealed this about the death threats she's been receiving ever since their falling out. Watch.
The subject line for the direct death threats on my son was his words, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Those are death threats directly fueled by President Trump. I told him, I told J.D. Vance, I told them all, sent those directly to them.
Response?
J.D. Vance replied back to me, we'll look into it. I got response back from President Trump that I will keep private, but it wasn't very nice.
Give us a hint of what the president said.
It was extremely unkind.
Right. Well, I think Trump supporters loved that Marjorie Taylor Greene loved Donald Trump. I think it was more about that than it was anything she was saying. As we said before, she's believed in a lot of conspiracy theories, QAnon, all that. She just last year was sending out tweets about weather manipulation by the U.S. government in relation to hurricanes. But now she's really picked a convenient time to do this and I'm wary of it. I'm of two minds, kind of, where I'm happy that she's doing this and she's speaking truth, but she has had 6 years to, and she's seen this firsthand with her colleagues who have been attacked by Donald Trump, Republicans as well, who have tried to go against him, and they face death threats. Yep. And Democrats, too. And Democrats, there have been acts of violence that have maybe been encouraged by Donald Trump, or at least by some of his rhetoric, and they were carried out by some of his supporters. So
I do want to bring up something else that she said in the 60 Minutes interview where she was asked about her future political ambitions. Yeah. Can we play that?
People think you're doing it and that you, in a year or so, are going to run for some other office.
I have zero plans, zero desire to run for president. I would hate the Senate. I'm not running for governor. But Leslie, it doesn't matter how many times I say it. I'll have face-to-face conversations with people, and I'll flat out tell them to their face, and they won't believe me. And they're like, oh, yeah, sure. And they wink at me, and I'm like, okay.
Nikki, what do you make of that?
I don't think any politician worth their salt admits they're running until the day they announce the campaign. So, okay, Marge, I'm sure we won't see you ever again. She did.
Welcome back, guys. This new Marjorie Taylor Greene interview is honestly one of the most surprising things I have seen from her in a long time. And look, I am not someone who gets shocked by politicians anymore. But this one really made me stop and think. She went on 60 Minutes and basically opened up about her entire fallout with Trump, something that just a year ago nobody could have imagined she would do. Right from the start, she talks about the death threats she's been receiving, and she says Donald Trump was extremely unkind about the situation. That alone is wild to hear, coming from someone who has defended him harder than almost anyone else in Washington. For years, she stood by him, protected him, repeated his talking points, fought with his critics, basically branded herself as one of his most loyal soldiers. And now suddenly she is telling America that behind the scenes he didn't treat her well at all. But really caught my attention is when she said her Republican colleagues were mocking Trump behind his back. That's the part that made me pause, because we all know politicians talk privately, sure, but hearing that from someone who was part of his inner circle for so long, that's different. She's not some random critic. She was one of his loudest supporters. So when she says Republicans were making fun of Trump, that carries weight. At the same time, I can't help but notice the timing. And honestly, the timing feels a little too perfect. She's saying all this now when politically she needs a little distance from Trump. and the host in the video said it too. This looks like classic political strategy. She defended Trump for years even when he said things that people found offensive or extreme. She backed him during controversies, during investigations, during everything. But now that things are getting complicated for him and he is not treating her the way she expected, suddenly she is shifting. When I think about MTG, I think about someone who built her brand on pushing strong, bold statements and conspiracy theories. That's been part of her whole identity. So watching her take this new I am the reasonable insider who say the truth approach, it doesn't really land smoothly. It feels like she is trying to rebrand herself in real time, and I think a lot of Americans are picking up on it. The interview tries to show a more serious version of her. She talks about threats, safety, responsibility, and how toxic things have become. And I actually appreciate when politicians open up about real safety concerns. No one Republican or Democrat should deal with threats or violence. That's not politics, that's just basic humanity. But the part that gets complicated is that she herself spent years feeding that same aggressive political climate. She encouraged harsh rhetoric, she amplified extreme voices, she helped fuel the fire. So, for her to now say this went too far feels like she is talking about a fire she helped start. Another interesting moment is when she was asked if she wants to run for higher office, and she said she has zero plans. I don't know about you, but anytime a politician says they have no plans, usually that means there are definitely plans somewhere. Most people don't go on big interviews like this unless they are testing public reaction to something. Maybe she is eyeing a Senate seat, maybe a leadership role, maybe even something bigger. And the interview almost felt like a preview, a soft launch of a new version of herself. Then the video switches over to Trump's comments about a possible Netflix deal with Warner Brothers. That part honestly made me raise my eyebrow. Trump said he would be involved in the decision if Netflix were to buy Warner Brothers. And that is a huge thing to say because major media deals go through regulators, not the president. The president it isn't supposed to jump in and influence which company by which company. The idea that he could personally influence a massive entertainment merger is kind of alarming, especially because people are already wondering if there's something in it for him. Some people in the video suggested that Netflix might want to produce a Trump friendly documentary or content that praises him. And if that's true, then this whole thing gets even messier. We have seen what happens when big corporations bypass the normal rules and talk directly to whoever is in the White House. When companies start negotiating with presidents instead of regulators, it creates a dangerous precedent. It blurs the line between government power and private businesses. That's something Americans, whether conservative or liberal, should worry about. And the funniest part is that Trump said it in such a casual way, like it's normal for him to be part of a huge corporate merger decision. That movement alone could spark headlines for days. If Netflix or Warner Brothers is trying to get political leverage, that's a whole new level of influence. The video ends by highlighting how unusual and concerning this situation could become. And honestly, I agree with that. When companies start looking for political approval instead of legal approval, it becomes a long-term democratic problem. It puts too much power in one person's hand, no matter who the president is, Trump, Biden, or anyone else. Allowing the executive office to control business decisions is dangerous. But coming back to Marjorie Taylor Greene, the whole interview still leaves me with a big question: why now? Why this week? Why this moment? Her story might be true, she might genuinely feel betrayed, she might genuinely be changing her political direction. But when someone has built their entire career on loyalty, conspiracy theories, and extreme messaging, it's really hard to believe their sudden transformation. And that's why this interview feels a little odd. But just like the little says, maybe she is trying to distance herself from Trump before the next election cycle gets messy. Maybe she sees now a new opportunity somewhere else, or maybe she is trying to soften her public image for a future campaign. Whether Whatever her real reason is, this interview definitely raised eyebrows all across the political spectrum. And that's exactly why it's getting so much attention, because it shows a crack in one of the strongest political alliances we have seen in recent years. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next video.